Hello and a very good morning, viewers. Thank you for tuning into Times Now. You're watching Cricket Central with me, Deepak Suresh Kumar. It's T-minus 30 hours for a blockbuster semi-final of 2023 Cricket World Cup between two of the most evenly matched teams in the world, India and New Zealand. Now, India, the top-ranked team in the world, have been in omnious form throughout the tournament, winning all 8 of their group games. And New Zealand, on the other hand, all 9 of their group games, and New Zealand, on the other hand, have been more inconsistent, but they have shown that they are capable of beating anyone on their day. The match is evenly poised and either team could win, but if there is one thing that is for sure, it is that the match will be a thrilling and a dramatic contest at the Wankhede Stadium. And this year, India entered the ground of Dharamshala with the whole baggage of Kiwis dominance, but successfully managed to shed the baggage and defeat the New Zealand by 4 wickets. Virat Kohli played a wonderful innings of 95 runs, while Mohammad Shami delivered a ferocious spell of 5 for 54. And in 2019, every Indian cricket fan knows that the feeling when MS Dhoni got run out, and that was India's last hope to win that semi-final against New Zealand, because the Kiwis won the match with 18 runs and then faced England in one of the most exciting World Cup finals. But this time around, the match is at the Wankhede Stadium, where India will take on Kiwis with an eye to seek revenge for the 2019's defeat that New Zealand got against India. And this time around, the Wankhede pitch is looking, or rather looks like, it's going to throw up a few surprises for both the teams, because it has been a very tricky surface to bat on. That's the surface where India skittled out Sri Lanka for a meager total in this World Cup. And Hitman and his team will be looking to emulate the same match result that happened against Sri Lanka against New Zealand at the Wankhede Stadium. Let's take a look at how the preparations are underway. My colleague Karishma gets you this ground report.
It's the big semi-final on the 15th of November at the Wankhede Stadium, where India is all set to lock horns with New Zealand. Now, talking about India, it is, of course, the only undefeated team in this Cricket World Cup 2023. 9 out of 9 wins for the Indian team, the last being against Netherlands, where they crushed Netherlands by 160 runs. The top order completely firing on all accounts. And now, of course, we are at the Wankhede, where the New Zealand team is prepping to take on India in this knockout match. And of course, this is going to be very important, because India versus New Zealand brings back memories of 2019, and the Indian team will be looking to reverse that result from 2019. But Lockie Ferguson, in his pre-match conference, also saying that it is going to be a very important match, and that India does have the bowling attack that can trouble the New Zealand batsmen. So all in all, this is going to be a very important, a very mouth-watering clash that everyone is going to look forward to on the 15th of November at the Wankhede.
Let's take a look at how the numbers stand at the Wankhede Stadium, because in this World Cup so far, the team batting first have won 3 games, and the team batting second has won only 1 game. The highest score at the Wankhede so far has been 399 for 7. That is South Africa versus England. And the lowest score has been Sri Lanka's versus India at the Wankhede Stadium. So India will be looking to emulate the same feat. And let's take a look at how India has done in the 2019 semi-final. Rohit Sharma was dismissed for 1 run. He was caught behind, and these are some of the mistakes that India did in the 2019 World Cup semi-finals. Let's take a look at what happened to KL Rahul. He also got out for just 1 run. He faced 7 deliveries. He was caught behind. Virat Kohli, on the other hand, was also dismissed for a single run. He was LBW. He was caught wrapped on the pads. And then Jadeja, on the other hand, was the only player who scored big for India in that game. He scored 77 out of 59 deliveries, but he was also caught out, and that helped New Zealand probably win that game in 2019. Let's take a look at how Trent Bolt has been doing against India, because he is the X factor for the Black Caps, and also Indian pace battery will be looking to outrun Trent Bolt at the Wankhede Stadium in terms of bowling, and the batting lineup that Team India has will be looking to neutralize Bolt's threat early on. In 14 innings, Bolt has bagged about 25 wickets at an average of 26 and an economy of 4.7, which is very remarkable for a fast bowler, because usually a fast bowler, when he bowls it, the ball flies off the bat, but Trent Bolt has been able to control and contain India's batting, and his average has been just about 4. Let's also take a look at more numbers about how Tim Southee has done against India, because he is another pacer that India have to watch out for, because 23 innings he has bagged about 35 wickets at an average of 36, but Tim Southee is on the expensive side. He has an economy of 6 point whatever, and Mitchell Santner on the other hand is another spinner that the Team India batters will be looking to counter at the Wankhede Stadium. In 21 innings he has bagged 14 wickets and also at an economy of 4.76. Now, speaking about the Wankhede Stadium, the chief of the Mumbai Cricket Association spoke to Times Now, and here's how the preparations are underway at the Wankhede Stadium.
हमारे तरफ से जैसे हमें बीसीसी और आईसीसी की जो गाइडलाइन है उसी तरह से हम लोग ने पूरी अरेंजमेंट लास्ट 4 मैच भी की है और ये मैच के भी आने उससे बेहतरीन हम क्या अच्छा कर सकते हो, ऐसी पूरी हमारी एपेक्स काउंसिल हमारे जो अध्यक्ष है अमोल काले जी उनके नेतृत्व में हम कर रहे हैं। तो यहाँ पे फ्री ड्रिंकिंग वाटर जैसे बीसीसीआई ने हमको कहा था वो तो है ही, वापस हमारे अध्यक्ष जी ने पॉपकॉर्न और कोल्ड ड्रिंक का सब स्पेक्टेटर्स को फ्री हम लोग ने प्रोवाइड किया है। बाद में हमारा माइन्यूट लेवल पे टॉयलेट्स होगा या स्टेडियम इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर होगा, इस हर चीज़ पे हमारा एकदम माइक्रो लेवल पे प्लानिंग हो के हमारे हर मेंबर्स उसके ऊपर काम कर रहे हैं। और आपने देखा ही होगा कि हर मैच इधर बेहतरीन ही रहा और एक अलग एग्जाम्पल सेट करके दिया है।
Well, to give us more insights on what the game could look like, we have Mr. Chandresh Narayanan, an author and a sports broadcaster. Good morning, Chandresh. A very happy Diwali to you. But the real gift of Diwali is still impending, and that will be given to us by Team India at the Wankhede Stadium.
Good morning, Deepak, and good morning to all the viewers, and very happy Diwali to everyone. Yes, everybody's looking forward to this important clash. I previously told you, Deepak, that India's record in World Cup since 2003 has been brilliant. They have won a lot of games, but have lost the games that matter. Right. So make what you will of that, but I think that this week is a very important week, because they can, if they can better this record this week, it will be the best gift for cricket, because cricket is at crossroads right now worldwide, and only an Indian win in this World Cup will ensure that ODI cricket stays on. Only an Indian win will ensure that cricket has a lease of life, because the sport is surviving basically on the Indian taxpayers' money. And if the Indian team wins, there's nothing better and more important than this.
Well, Chandresh, like you mentioned, India has a habit of losing the games that really matter. But this time around, the equations are pretty different, because every department is delivering the goods for the team. And Rohit Sharma as the captain is leading from the front. And Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, the duo alone, have scored about 1,000 runs together in this World Cup. But looking at the New Zealand's batting side, we have the likes of Lockie Ferguson, Daryl Mitchell, Rachin Ravindran to be precise, and also Kane Williamson, who is just out of an injury but still is looking to capitalize on this game at the Wankhede Stadium. In fact, Lockie Ferguson yesterday in a press conference even said that the New Zealand team will win the match at any cost. Let's listen into that reaction.
From our point of view, when we start the competition, much like every other team, we're here to win it. But of course, we know there's a process, and I think certainly within our team, we've played a lot of cricket together for a long period of time. So we sort of stick to our processes.
So coming back to you, Chandresh, there is no looking back this time around, and I'm sure even the team has gotten ample rest to look and rethink about the mistakes that they've done so far, although there have been very less to look at. But this time around, India doesn't seem to lose, doesn't look like they're going to lose the semi-final, because so far it's been so good.
Yeah, Deepak, but I wouldn't get so overconfident about the result because last time as well, I remember 2019 when India restricted New Zealand to about 230 odd, everybody felt it's just a piece of cake. But then we all know what happened. The top order got knocked off for next to nothing. And that's been the case in big knockout matches for India in ICC events since 2003, except 2011 and 2013. Even 2013 when they won the Champions Trophy, I remember the final very well because I was there at the venue, and I remember the top order got knocked off for next to nothing. It was a rain-affected clash, but I think that India somehow needs to control the controllables and ensure that the top order gets through the tough initial spell of Trent Bolt and Tim Southee. But I think the most important factor would be toss. We've seen so far, like you mentioned earlier in your opening piece, that the teams batting first have had an advantage at this venue, Wankhede Stadium, and I think the Indian team will be hoping that they can continue to maintain that trend at the Wankhede Stadium. But that doesn't mean that if you are bowling first, you can't chase. You can chase, but then the pressure of a knockout match, pressure of being at home, pressure of making it to the final, all that will then start telling heavily on the Indian team. So it's not impossible, but it's not a done deal as well. So I just think that everyone needs to have their feet on the ground. I mean, those of us off the field. Those on the field will definitely know what they need to do.
Right, Chandresh, the sea breeze, the dew will all play an important role in the game against New Zealand at the Wankhede Stadium. But it looks like the Kiwis have a plan, they have a backup plan, and also they have means and ways to counter the pace attack. Let's listen in to what Loki Ferguson said further in yesterday's press conference.
Yeah, look, I think the stats are probably favouring batting first, but at the same time, it's A, not up to me, and B, you know, we have to play the game on the day. So whatever it might be, bat or bowl first, we've got plans for that, and it's important to stick to them. Obviously, nice to bowl under lights and. Yeah, good attack. I think you'd probably struggle to make knockout stages without a good bowling attack. But yeah, look, it's a strong attack. I think all four teams in the sort of knockout stages have got a very good pace attack, of course, with good spinners.
Well, Chandresh, in the 2019 semi-final, let's talk about what happened in that game. The top order was skittled out early on and the pace bowlers didn't deliver in that match. So what can India learn from the 2019 defeat?
I think India can learn from the 2019 defeat that the top order needs to hang on, because we saw in the 2015 semi-final, 2019 semi-final, the 2017 Champions Trophy final. I'm just listing out the ODI knockouts that India faced in the last few years in the ICC events, where the top order gets knocked off early and then the pressures on the middle order. And India is a team which doesn't have depth in their batting, as in, like, we have the top six, but the bowlers don't actually bat. So that's a cause for concern if you're an Indian fan. It's not happened till now, but they've not been required to bat at all. But in crunch situations, even in 2019, the team was on a roll. They lost just one game in the league phase to England. And even in that game, we saw that the top order didn't perform, and then the pressure came on the middle order and the lower middle order. So we need to somehow see that the Indian team is able to weather the storm early on, if they're chasing especially, or if they're batting first. And then they are able to counter the New Zealand pace attack, New Zealand bowling. And you don't have that much pressure on the middle and lower middle order, because the lower middle order is really suspect, because India is one of those unique teams, much like South Africa, where the batters don't bowl and the bowlers, the batters don't bowl, but we saw in the last game India gave everybody a bowl, and the bowlers don't bat. I think that is something that that everybody needs to look out for.
Right, Chandresh, many thanks for joining us on this broadcast and giving us your valuable insights, because the game in the Wankhede Stadium is a deja vu of the 2019 clash, and this time around India has done its homework and they will be looking to work on those points that they did not in the last semi-final, in the last World Cup semi-final against New Zealand. But this time around, India will look to wrong the rights or right the wrongs and also beat New Zealand at the Wankhede Stadium and counter Trent Bolt, Mitchell Santner, Tim Southee and the rest of the bowling attack. It's the key. The key here is to win the toss and bat first so that there is no pressure that mounts on Team India about the finals and also about containing or rather chasing the formidable target that New Zealand would post at the Wankhede Stadium. But on the other side, viewers, we have an explosive interview with New Zealand's most explosive batsman, Daryl Mitchell, lined up for you. Do stay tuned.